everybody.
This is not a test.
Hello everybody, welcome to Disclosure TV. For some reason my OBS is messing up, but you know what? We're going to try it anyway. So it's been a while since I've done a live feed, and the reason why is because my health has been an issue, and that sucks. Yeah. So yeah, it's been an issue, and I've been working on some other things, and I hope you all can forgive me for that. So I hope a few people start watching. So we're going to get into the reason I decided to get back into a live feed today is because a lot has happened over the last 2 or 3 weeks. A lot. And I'm going to start with what's going on today, and I usually cut my camera off to do these so you can pay attention to what I'm showing you. So I'm going to do that and get started with the news. So today, Michael Bolton and Pelosi and Schumer had a conference today. Their conference was on a few things, and they had a private meeting, and one of their private meetings was on the Venezuela crisis. So it just so happens that today clashes between protesters, pro-Maduro and pro-Juan Guaido protesters, it got really bad. It's gotten really bad, and it all of a sudden happened this morning. And security advisor Michael Bolton, came on, did an interview, and he said a few things. One thing which was odd, he was asked if there was going to be a military intervention in Venezuela, and his response was, the military option's on the table. However, they do have some type of U.S. forces in Venezuela operating. Now, he tried to be as subtle about it as he could, but he said the U.S. was in Venezuela. And by that, I'm assuming that there are U.S. forces in Venezuela. I did a report about it a few videos ago, about how the U.S. military parachuted in to Colombia overnight. And there's another video showing where U.S. forces landed on a beach in Venezuela. So, after I get through telling you this and reporting on Venezuela, I'll inform you of probably what's going to happen. So, this morning, Maduro tweeted out that his forces were going to fight the revolution, They were going to fight the revolution. They were going to fight Guaido, and he was going to put maximum pressure. And he sent out his whole military, his whole civic police, sent out everybody. And one of the videos, I've got several videos of what went on there today and what's still going on. And this is one of the videos. This is a battle going on in the Department of Transportation, the Minister of Transportation, or the Department of Transportation in Venezuela, where there's another video showing that, I know I say a lot, I'll try to stop, where Nicolas Maduro's people tried to take over, and evidently these people finally took over, and they are trying to shoot Juan Guaido's people, or these protesters. These protesters, I assume they are. I don't know if they're protesters. I don't know if they're pro-Maduro. I don't know much about this video except for what you see. But as you know, they're in a huge battle. They're in a huge gun battle. And this was going on today in Venezuela. So, today, a lot of video has come out of Venezuela about what's going on. I mean, there was a huge uprising in Venezuela. The biggest. I'm going to assume that it's planned. I'm going to assume that the U.S. helped plan it. That's just me. I better make sure I'm streaming, because I don't know if I'm even streaming right now, to be honest with you. I don't know if YouTube's letting me stream this. So I better check. Shouldn't I? So yeah. So Glenda Turner, I didn't know if anybody got a notification or anything. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. So let me turn down my mic a little. That seems a little high. So anyway, later on during the day, CNN in Venezuela was shut down. If you're looking at the image right now, Venezuela, the CNN in Venezuela was shut down because they aired a video that Maduro didn't like. And this is a screenshot from CNN in Venezuela. And they cut the feed after they showed a video of Maduro's people running over civilian protesters. So they cut the feed. Yeah, they've been acting a little strange for everybody. So this is the video. I posted this video on my Twitter, and it got over 30,000 retweets. It got over I don't know how many views. And I think I was the first person, I don't know, but I put this out. This come from CNN and Venezuelan government TV, or not Venezuelan government, but Venezuelan TV.
Sí, sí. De hecho, esa cúpula que lleva arriba, mira, ahí vemos esa imagen que se.
And as you can see, that's pro-Maduro. Maduro's people or military is in those vehicles, and they are running over the protesters. Maduro told them in a tweet that they was going to apply all the force they could. Now, after this video was aired, CNN aired this same exact footage, and CNN Venezuela was taken off there. And Maduro told CNN That's
han
enough.
sido arrollados algunas personas en la autopista.
Because if you go to Venezuelan state television, they are reporting that no violence whatsoever is happening. Zero.
Sí. Esto no es la primera vez que sucede. Es lamentable
So,
lo que sucede el día de
you
hoy.
know, that's been going on all over the country, all over the Venezuela. Now, the United States said they're not having anything to do with it or anything like that. However, the mainstream media is reporting as, they report that it's all over oil. And if you watched one of my earlier videos, I showed proof where they're not there for oil. Venezuela's oil is basically has no quality to it. It's called the tar sands, which is basically the oil there is like tar, and it's ultra heavy crude, and 80% of it is so far in the ground and it's so thick that there's no technology that in the world that can pump it out. Yes, they do have the largest oil reserve in the world, but nobody can get to it, and the technology to get to it doesn't exist. Now, the top 20% of the oil in Venezuela, based on depth of ground, the top 20% of that oil is still ultra thick crude. However, they can pump it out, and they use chemicals to pump it out. However, when they do that, the quality of the oil and the quality of the oil that's in the ground is poor. And as a matter of fact, governments all over the world, refineries all over the world are rejecting the shipments from Venezuela because the crude oil is so bad. So you ask, why are they there? And the reason that they're there is because Russia has cozied up to Maduro, and relations between Russia and the United States have been dwindling for, a couple years now, and Russia wants to put a military base in Venezuela. Well, if you remember back in the 70s, what happened with back in the 50s with the Cuban Missile Crisis and JFK, this same exact thing happened. This same exact thing. Except instead of Venezuela, it was Turkey. So back in the 50s, there was a uprising of the government. There was clashes between the government, and it just so happened that the United States had 100 nuclear warheads in Turkey at the time. Well, Russia caused a military coup in Turkey, and the United States said, well, we can't have that because we've got warheads there. Well, while that was happening, Russia snuck in Cuba's back door and planted and put in 12 missile silos and then tried to bring the warheads in. A lot of people don't know that. So, after that happened, along with this happening in Venezuela, Cuba has they've rekindled ties with Russia's rekindled ties with Cuba, and they've given them over $50 million worth of military equipment. They've given them cash. They've given them all kinds of stuff, and basically the United States is trying to prevent Russia from moving in their back door, in their backyard. So that's why all this is going on. Now, some people believe it's oil, some people believe it's just the people who are tired of the crap. Well, you have to understand that right before all this started, the United States sent the CIA to Venezuela. They did. It was in an article. It was in the mainstream news. They sent the CIA there, and basically they said, we're gonna mess up Venezuela. But no reason was given. They just said they were treating the people bad. Well, that's what happened in the Middle East. They said that about the Middle East too. It just so happens that Venezuela doesn't have really good oil. Not only that, the United States is the #1 oil producer in the world now. And along those lines, they have control of the oil in the Middle East. They have control of Saudi Arabia pretty much. They own everything. So they could care less about oil in Venezuela. So the only thing that I could think of, and the only thing most people think of, is why are they there? Now, either A, they're trying to start World War III, or B, they don't want Russia in their backyard. Either way it goes, Russia's going to be involved. Now, after all this happened today, it's probably going to get worse. And the United States said Michael Bolton said if Guaido couldn't take over the military coup after today, that more than likely they were going to step in with military action. Well, you have to understand that Russia has good ties with Venezuela. You know, they have good ties with them. So, you know, not only did that happen today, but
porque lo tomaron, están a favor del gobierno. ¡Libertad ahora! ¡Libertad! ¡Libertad!
This video right here of, I'm not sure whether these are Trump and fighting each other in the street.
Porque lo tomaron, están a favor del gobierno.
So, not only are they doing that to each other, the citizens are fighting each other in the street, citizens are fighting the government in the street, and now both opposing military forces are fighting each other in the street. Now, there's another view from this, another angle from this. Over on the right hand side, there's another video of somebody else on the right hand side of this building pointing towards the front of the cars. I didn't get that video. I should have. I didn't think I needed it. But this is what's happening in Venezuela. Now, like I said, there are I could guarantee you, the way Michael Bolton suggested or subtly suggested, there are operations that involve the U.S. that are going on in Venezuela right now. Now, I don't know if the U.S. is in, one of these guys. I know the CIA is still there. So, all this is going on. Now, the key question is if the United States gets involved, is Russia going to get involved? And if you don't remember over the last few videos, and if you remember Marfugel and you remember a couple others reporting this, that and Lisa Haven, I think, along with myself, the U.S. military is sending out massive amounts of military equipment all over the place. In the U.S., abroad, the U.S. is sending military equipment to their allies, brand new. So, and the latest round being some military equipment that was painted green, that was in California, and usually that's a sign of somewhere where there's a forest, so that's where they're going. most military paint their colors of their vehicles and their equipment according to where they're located. So more or less, that equipment is going to somewhere where it's green, where there's mostly vegetation. So this, like I said, not only is the military, both opposing militaries, going against each other, you have civil people, citizens against citizens. You got citizens against opposing military, and now you have military against the military. And it's basically a civil war. There's a civil war there. That is a civil war. And it's basically all caused by the CIA and U.S. involvement. Prior to the CIA being down there, you never heard anything about Venezuela. You never even heard anything about their oil. Nothing. Not a peep, not a word. So that's what's going on in Venezuela. And if you're now joining us, I'll replay the videos. So this is a video of people, pro-Guaido protesters being run over by Maduro's military. Maduro called for maximum pressure from his civil police and military, and that's what they're doing. They're basically running over people now. They're killing people. They're shooting people in the streets there. And if you remember, as I said, that's why the United States CIA went down there. I hope this video doesn't get pulled because of all this. So as I said, all this happened. Now, while all this was going on, I covered that. So not only did that happen, but a few days ago, another church, a synagogue in California, Poway, California, was attacked by a shooter, where I think a little girl got killed, and it was a Jewish synagogue, I believe, and a little girl got killed, and that's not this rash of religious based. I'm gonna call it a war. I mean, basically, that's what it is. It's a religious war against Christians and Muslims, basically. And for some reason, I think, I don't know if I did do a video about this. For some reason, they're trying to protect the Islamic portion of it, but not the Christian portion of it. And in Sri Lanka, if you remember, they shut down the internet, and they shut down communications, all media communications, and just so that the Islamic people wouldn't be retaliated against. And hey, everybody, so there's a huge war, and if you all remember any quotes from the Bible, if you remember any quotes from the Bible in Revelations, where it talks about the Great Tribulation, it does talk about how the Christian religion and God's word would be attacked. Now, if you go back to what China is doing, China is putting to death people from the Christian religion. They are executing worshipers of Christian religion. They are tearing down churches. They are burning churches. They are executing preachers there. They're doing all that. And basically, they're attacking, one religion's attacking the other. And the Bible actually suggests that this is going to happen during 7 years, during the 7-year tribulation, before basically Satan comes back. And you can believe what you want. I was raised in a Christian home, and I don't spout off too much Bible verses, but I'm just saying. So, we have all these shootings happening. Now, today, about 2 o'clock, maybe around 2 o'clock, 2:30, this right here happened. This is a shooting that happened at UNCC or UNC Charlotte in North Carolina.
Well, I guess we can do that.
What?
Record, I guess.
Well, no one said nothing to me yet, so.
Let me see if I can't fix it. Is it messing up really bad? Maybe my mic's up too. Maybe my mic's up too high. I don't know. So anyway, you have today, like as I said, this was.
Holy shit, what's happening?
I think the person's in there.
Well, I guess we can do that.
What?
Record, I guess.
Yeah, I know. It's called ducking. If I fix the ducking on it, but I have to fix the ducking on every single thing I play. So I have to go back and fix everything. Ducking means I basically, when I talk, the music of the media I'm playing or whatever I'm playing ducks down in volume and I talk over it. So anyway, during that video, as I said, 2 people died, 5 people were injured, and one of the guys that was killed actually had a Middle Eastern name. They took his Twitter account down. I don't know his name, but this is the guy who came to the UNC school and attacked. So this is the guy. His name is Tristan Terrell. He was 22 years old. He went to that school. No other information was given about him except he was 22 years old and he was the shooter. Now, this is a video of the shooter being taken into custody. As you can see, they got his head covered. He's got the same exact hair as the guy in the picture. So more than likely, that's him. So the shooter was apprehended. And like I said, all these shootings that are happening, it's uncalled for. all of it's uncalled for. And things happening in Venezuela. You got all these things happening all over the world right now. That points to one thing. Now, over the weekend, NASA, from April 31st or 29th or something like that to May 2nd, NASA had an asteroid impact exercise, which, if you don't know, it's they have it every year starting in 2016. This isn't one of those asteroid things that NASA says, NASA's, or that you see on TV, but NASA is planning on an asteroid hitting Earth in our lifetime. So I am 37 years old. So that means that sometime in the next 40 years, an asteroid's going to hit. Now, if you recall my other video, it's if that other video that I have shows that in 1999, NASA discovered an asteroid called 1999 AN10. Only 2 reports were given, and that is because after those 2 reports were given, they started hiding it. In 2024, 1999 AN10 has a 96% chance of impacting Earth. Now, the impact scenario that they did, that the NASA did in 2017, aligns directly up with 1999 AN10. So I dug a little more into the 2017 exercise of the Planetary Defense Council, just like they did this year. It's still going on, so I haven't dug into it. But the 2017 exercise, everything lined up perfectly with 1999 AN10. And if you remember a Marfugel report said that maybe last year that a soldier got onto YouTube and made was live on TV trying to make a video about something hitting the Earth or hitting the moon in 3 or 4 years. So not only that, NASA, what I believe is happening is NASA is trying to desensitize us to the fact that we may have something enter our atmosphere that may hurt us. Now, you have to understand that at the same time, the Navy come out with a new guideline for reporting UFOs. So the Navy is reporting new guidelines for UFOs and how to report them. So the new guidelines are for military and civilians, and the reason why they're doing it is because so many people were seeing UFOs, and so many military people were seeing so many UFOs over military bases, that the Navy just said, screw it. We're gonna figure out what these things are. Well, you have to understand that they were interested in the propulsion. So one of the things that they were interested in is, we don't know what propulsion we can't see any propulsion devices on these. So the weird thing about all this is that back when Roswell happened, in 1956 or 1957, years later, almost exactly 10 years later, or a little 12 years later, we end up at the moon after the Roswell crash. And you have to understand, 2.5 million years of human civilization didn't produce any that many years of human civilization didn't have an impact on our how far we went in the world, our technology. So, in 2.5 million years, we only made it to steam engines. Now, once you get past that, and after the Roswell crash, technology exploded. Technology exploded to the point to where we were able to go to the moon, we were able to go to Mars. We can touch a screen and do what it asks. We can talk to a TV. They're building robots that go into our body and repairs, organs. So, sorry about that. I don't know why it's messing up. So, they're doing all this, and nobody knows, and nobody's really getting an answer to anything. But now that the Navy wants everybody to report UFOs to them, people are like, what's really going on? Truthers and conspiracy theories have been doing this for a long time, and just about every conspiracy theory that the government's ever had, the truthers and conspiracy theorists have proven them right. Now the government's trying to shut all of us down. They're trying to control our freedom of speech. So, that's... And, basically, YouTube is the worst about it. They're shadow banning, Twitter shadow banning. Yeah, you're right, Glenda. I have a video where it shows a UFO shooting out of the Earth's atmosphere during a SpaceX live feed. And so, all this stuff is going on, and I don't know if I should do this or not, but I'm going to do it anyway, because Marfugel said he wouldn't report on it, and he made it known that anybody else could report on it. So he sent out a Marfugel alerts the other day. So I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to show you what it says. So he didn't want to put this on his channel because he was afraid he might be snuffed out and demonetized, but so if it happens to me, so be it. So, first of all, there's a in addition to what the MSM is recovering, our sources have warned us that the U.S.-backed Juan Guaido is arresting police officers that do not switch sides. Also, we are told that the internet is about to go dark there. Things are heating up. We will continue to monitor them closely. So, let me find the one. And, if so, on March 27th, an event happened to where, it says last month we covered, Marfugel covered a border story that heated up with a source, even though they didn't say anything directly about it. And the mainstream media didn't even report it. Actually, I looked it up, and the mainstream media didn't even report this. Now, the local news in the area where this was at, in West Virginia, they covered it, but it was only small newspapers. So, on March 27th, Eric Leonardo Sharon was driving over 130 miles an hour on I-68 in West Virginia. He was pulled over by state police, who said he appeared to be confused and stressed. He made statements that were concerning. The MSM story continues to say that Sharon was from Missouri, high on meth, up all night and threatening the president and threatening to blow up the building in Washington, D.C. They claim sniffing dogs hit on the trunk, and was also widely reported that the FBI, Secret Service, and ATF assisted in the state police. Now, I actually looked all that information up. That is absolutely true. Local reports from West Virginia did state that the Secret Service and the FBI and the ATF were called in. Finally, the interstate was shut down for almost 4 hours, and traffic was diverted an extraordinary distance from the incidents, 16 miles. But it was said that the guy was carrying a biological or radioactive device that can explode. So, another report by Marfugel's source said that the guy's name was Hafiz Salman. That's a Middle Eastern name. So they were going to take it to Fort Detrick, Maryland, where it's the United States Bioweapons Lab. So, there's a lot that's going on. I don't want to go through all of his stuff. There's a biological exercise in Oregon going on. Marfugel gets all the good stuff. Us little guys, we get what we can get. So every now and again, I can come up. I come up with some good stuff. I usually get the jump on a lot of stuff, but like I said, I've been having health problems the last couple of days or the last couple of weeks. Not anything bad, just like my blood pressure was up. So anyway, I wanted to show you all guys that and show you what's going on in the United States. And I've actually been working on a movie that I've been watching. And the movie was called How It Ends. And a lot of people didn't understand that movie. A lot of people didn't know what that movie was about, and a lot of people didn't watch it, and they didn't get the ending. They thought it was stupid. And if you all get a chance to watch it, but don't view it as a movie at all. Because I'm pretty certain that yes, it's a movie, and yes, a lot of people think it may be fictional, but based on the events that's happening now with the magnetic the pole reversal, that the movie may be what's going to happen in the future. Because NASA and scientists are stating that nothing's going to happen during this magnetic reversal. Well, there's I have a statement from the basically it's the British Geological Survey, stating that they have no information whatsoever on a magnetic reversal and the effects of it. They don't know what it does or what kind of havoc it's going to wreak on our planet. The only information they have on it is what their supercomputers have simulated. That's it. Now they have very, very limited information. They have very, very limited information in geology based on the rocks. They're saying that one happened 200 to 400,000 years ago, but humans really weren't around long enough, or developed enough skill to really record any of that. So, and then the geologists are saying that the only information they have is in volcanic rock. And that movie, you cannot look at it as a non-fiction movie or as a fictional movie. You have to look at it as basically a warning or something that could possibly happen. And also you have to remember that video, that the script for it was written in 2009. The movie was released in 2018. And in 2009, we had no clue about a magnetic pole reversal. And in my opinion, for him to write a script based on a magnetic pole reversal in 2009 means that guy had more information, had some information we didn't have, or knew some information that we didn't have. Yeah, the movie's called How It Ends. It's a Netflix movie, but if you have a separate movie source for streaming movies, I do. I use a different source. It's called Cinema HD. Yes, it's illegal, but I use it anyway. But it's on there. It's hard to get. You have to download an APK, and you have to allow third-party downloads onto your phone. So you have to go in your settings and go under security, and then allow third-party downloads, and then go find the APK and download it to your phone. And it's kind of like a zip file. Then you have to unzip the file, and then it installs on your phone. So it's a little harder to. But it's worth it. Really, it is, because everything is like I watched the new Avengers movie a day before it came out. So when everybody was watching it on the 25th, I was watching it on the 24th. So anyway, don't look for anything. Don't look for a lot to get better. I'm just going to tell you that. You can hope for things to get better, but don't look for much to get better in the world. Because it's coming to a point in time to where things are just, things are happening, and basically, at one point, our country could control the things that are happening, and the people within it could control the things that are happening, and we had a government that could help us do that. But now, we don't have anybody. So because of the greed and the secrets and all the things that our elitist government is doing is hurting us. And in the end, when all the citizens of the United States have run off or have been destroyed or killed or whatever because of their shenanigans, who are they going to control then? How much is that money going to be worth when nobody's here for them to buy anything or for them to control anything? So, what are you going to do? What are they going to do then? And, as I said before, for the last 3 years, I support President Trump, but for the last 3 years, I believe that he is being used as a veil for the deep state and the elitists in the background. He's basically a curtain. And for the last 3 years, he's been used. And I think something bad is getting ready to happen, and the government has been preparing for that while everybody else is watching what Trump does. And that's what I believe. So, I just wanted to get on here and do a quick video of that. And hopefully I have a little more set up to where it's a little more organized. But like I said, I appreciate you all watching. I hope everybody can subscribe. I think I've got like 125 subscribers now. That's good. I love it. And I appreciate you all watching. And now I have to go do another show over on DLive. If you don't know what DLive is, go over to dlive.tv, and you can join there, and you can watch Dutch Senses over there. John X Army's over there now. It's another kind of like a YouTube platform, but you're not censored. So go over to DLive. You can earn money while you watch other streamers. You can stream on your own and earn money. You can do all that. Dutch, like I said, Dutch Sense is there. Lisa Haven's there. John X Army. Marfugel might end up over there. There's a lot of people there, actually. A lot of people are going over to DLive. So I appreciate Glenda Turner. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna go over to DLive and do a show there, and hopefully some people watch over there, and I can get the word out, and hopefully everybody follows me. And like I said, today I don't know how many I got, like I'd say by now it's probably up to 80,000 retweets on my Twitter. So if you go over on to Twitter, go to Disclosure TV News over on Twitter, and follow me there. I tweet news out every day there. So whether I'm trying to work on a video or not, I do tweet out information there every day. So like I said, I appreciate you all watching, and this is Disclosure TV, and we are out of here.
This is not a test.